What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Episode 8. This is the first video I'm making on a camera right here, just trying something out. But in the future, I'm gonna upload all of the ones on Spotify to YouTube because I've heard that people can't access it if they don't have Spotify. So I'm gonna find a way to upload all the voice memos to YouTube, and from now on, I'm gonna try to get this going with my GoPro here. But I'm here with my teammate Jasik. What's up, Jasik?
What's going on, Fine?
So me and Jasik have been teammates for 2 years, almost one full season last year, and we've definitely become pretty close with how we've went about the game and how we've talked about both of our mental things. I know that we both had similar struggles. You probably a little more than I have, but yeah. So it's finally we've both been so busy. It's bad that we're this busy. We're not even in season.
Mm-hmm.
We've been at school for a month already.
Yeah.
So yeah. So dude, just tell me about you. Tell me like your journey, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Name's Jasik Kroll. Been around baseball as long as I can remember. T-ball, coach pitch, kid pitch, playing AAU tournaments, it was awesome. And then, my life kind of took a turn back when I was starting out high school. Kind of had to venture out by myself. Only played 1 year high school baseball my freshman year, and then, life kind of got in the way. And, but never, always was around the game. I lived in a minor league clubhouse for 2 summers. It was the best thing, that ever happened to me, living in a AA clubhouse and, getting to know major leaguers and seeing all the cool guys that came in and kind of, took care of me. It was awesome. I was a bat boy, a groundskeeper, a clubby. It was awesome. And, by the time I turned 18, I moved from Maryland to Connecticut. Was able, so excited to play baseball again. It took some years, and then my senior season got canceled because of COVID. So kind of scrambled and, committed as a catcher to go play. And then, that didn't work out. Had to take 2 years off, and through those 2 years, there's a lot of setbacks. Had 4 surgeries, tore my ACL twice, and then tore my shoulder twice. So long journey, lots of rehab, recovery, testing my mental strength and patience, but finally was able to go JUCO. Went JUCO for a year, didn't participate, still kind of rehabbed for my ACL surgery, and made a position change, started being a submarine pitcher, and from being a catcher, and now I'm here at St. Michael's in my 3rd year here as a senior captain, and loving it. So came full circle. Yeah,
I love to hear that, and definitely I know that you've had 4 surgeries and your arms, and you're gonna need more.
Yeah, I need shoulder and elbow surgery again. So elbow for the first time, shoulder for the 3rd time. So. Still trying to make it work, but
can't catch a break.
I guess not.
But no, just go through. I talked about it on a previous episode with one of my summer teammates. But just go through like the rehab process and how mentally tolling that can be after hurting your shoulder. For now, it's gonna be the 3rd surgery, you said, or the 4th, and then elbow for the first time. Just talk about how have you stayed mentally strong throughout that whole process.
Well, it definitely tested me. I had my first surgery on Christmas Eve 2020, and it was an eye opener. I live with my grandma just in small part of Connecticut, and it was just me and her, and she was driving to me my PT appointments, and I was kind of all by myself, just going to PT, going to the gym as much as I could, and it was a long road. I was so excited to get back and play. I rushed it too early, and got hurt again, and had to do the whole process again. And I don't take pain medicine, so I was kind of toughing it out on the
psycho for that. He's a psycho.
Right, toughing it out on the recliner for a while. But talking to my friends, they were what got me through it, even though they were a phone call away and 100 miles away. But talking with my sister and my close teammates and my high school coach, and he kind of got me out of the shadows and dragged me out to coach with him for 2 springs while I was still back home in Connecticut rehabbing. So never got away from the game, just kind of playing how to take a back seat to rehab. But and then came back, was ready to play, and then tore my ACL. So again, just kept getting tested, and when you go JUCO, you're on your own. and going to PT and trying to get classwork done and hobbling around on crutches on a big campus wasn't fun, but it definitely kind of shaped me into being the resilient player that I am today.
I never knew you tore your ACL. How did that happen?
Dude, I was after 2 shoulder surgeries. I was ready to play. I went to summer ball with Genesee Rapids and the NYCBL, and first practice I was still catching. I hit a double down the line, felt great, stole third, it was awesome, and then wet turf at 9 a.m. in the morning. I stopped a little too hard on my lead on third, and just my knee went out from under me and tore it. Yeah. Yep. Then had to drive 9 hours home the next day. Yeah.
That is not ideal, driving 9 hours home. But that's just really not. It's inspiring, but like it just shows how different people go about the rehab process. Because my brother, he had labral surgery. He had elbow surgery, and he just tore his hip labrum. He's just getting over that, and it just shows like now that he's finally done with the game. Like my parents were like, "Yeah, like you gotta want to give it up because like the rehab process and everything like that." But he's in a school in Florida right now, gonna try to play club ball for the spring. But it's just honestly, just like out of you and him, just no matter like how many surgeries you guys have had, like you guys always want to be around the game, like. Before he had surgery, he was hitting with me every day, throwing, lifting, and he's like, can't get any worse. So like, screw it. Like I'll just do anything. I think that's how you're feeling right now. You're still throwing bullpens, getting up at 5:30 in the morning, asking me to catch. It's honestly, like it can't get any worse than it already is. So like, why not try to play for as long as you can?
Exactly.
And talk about this new role that you're going into this year. We know that you're going to try to pitch as much as you can, but sometimes the arm is not going to let it. Like even the fall game, I know I saw you hurt. I saw you have a big smile about that after you finished, but I could tell like you were hurt. So just talk about that role that you're going into, kind of like coach / player and everything like that.
Yeah, well, this summer, not being able to play, I kind of pivoted in pitching, and I went the coaching route, and I got a bench coach position with a team in the NECBL called the Upper Valley Nighthawks out of Hartford, Vermont. It was the best thing I could ever done for me. It was kind of crazy how it happened, but our pitching coach kind of left, and our manager ended up getting banged for a couple games. So I managed some, and it was just being around high caliber baseball players, Division I baseball players, and like being the pitching coach, and it was just amazing. And it's definitely my love of the game has kind of transformed from playing to coaching, and moving forward now, after this summer, taking the team to the playoffs and kind of realizing my own playing ability is kind of gone, transferring it to kind of like a captain bullpen coach type role here at St. Michael's for my last year here. I'm so excited just to watch my guys have success and have fun. It's what gives me joy more so than even playing now does. So I'm really excited to work with our head coach Jim Neidlinger and our bullpen coach George Goldsworthy are really about getting around these our young arms and developing them as much as we can.
I feel like we're already doing better. Like now that Coach Jim has officially taken over the coaching staff, and him being an ex-major leaguer, he has a way of doing things, and everyone may not agree with it, but it shows that it worked for him, so he's gonna do all he can. Because people are like, "Oh, like old school, he doesn't know the new stuff." Like it got the guy that far, so it's gotta prove something, right? And I feel like a lot of guys are kind of like looking to you for advice, looking to George also, but more so you, because you recently just pitched as soon as like last year. You got your appearance at Bentley, and just talk about like how like. I don't know how to say it. It's kind of how you can relate to pitchers being relatively the same age as these guys, and only being not being out of the game, but like not only pitching as recent as last year.
Of course, yeah. And I'm lucky because I'm young, and I can relate to guys, and I can feel like I can kind of play that role between player, coach, and hey, have Jim's ear on something that the young guys are kind of concerned about, and get guys heard. It's great with like Jim being an old school guy and me kind of being a new school guy, knowing TrackMan and Rapsodo stuff. Like we can kind of have the best of both worlds.
We have a Rapsodo at the facility too.
Exactly. So we have the best of both worlds here, starting out this fall, and I'm very, very excited to see where we're going, and just the development from August 25th when we got on campus to now is absurd in just about 3 weeks.
100%,
So
yeah.
it's very exciting.
And with our infield substantially looks better. Like I'm just going like we got Coach Hector now coming in from BL. It's just like last year we didn't have that. We didn't have guys hammering ground balls every practice, and we only got on the field twice a week last year. But now with captains alongside you, Colin and Sam, Jim was like, hey, like we need field time every day. So we're just going in there, and I feel like our infield, I was about to say, our infield looks so much better.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we're a young and hungry team, really ready to compete here in the NE10 this year. And, I'm so grateful to be a part of it, whether it's, on the coaching aspect of sides or being on the mound. So very excited.
And I know that we've talked about it a bunch of times, how your mental side and my mental side have like got in the way of me playing, because like just me personally, I've talked about it in episode 1, which seems like a while ago, that I'm really hard on myself and how I go about the game. I just have such high expectations for myself. And I realized that this summer we talked about it a lot, how that was hands down like the most fun I've had ever playing baseball, just with my friends in Miami. It's just like it flipped a switch for me, and I don't know, like right when I got up here and I started playing again, it's just like I was right back to that kid who was struggling last year at the end of the year when I got my chance at the Bentley game, because Evan had a breakdown.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just talk about how your past experience could help give advice to kids like me, because kids like me and so many others, because so many others, I didn't realize till I started this that there's so many other people that go through the same things just like me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I've kind of had it tough, with the cards I've dealt in life, just to, be in the position that I'm in now. So I feel like I've seen a lot, experienced a lot, and been through a lot, and have gotten through it. So just with like the mental side, being like, the biggest thing is just ask for help. Like, I try and read my guys as much as possible, and I can pick up on a decent amount, but just guys are here for you. This is a team, but even before that, we're all brothers. And just talking with there's a lot of guys that I've come across, and baseball has given me everything that I've ever needed. Whether it was with the minor league team I lived with, or guys I played from JUCO to high school to here at St. Mike's to the teams in summer ball I played for. Whether it be Westfield Starfires in the Futures League, or Elmira Pioneers in the PGCBL, or even the Genesee Rapids in the NYCBL. Like, just everybody's there for you, and I've made lifelong connections, and you're never alone. And the mental fight is something that you can get over, and that's just something I try to preach to everybody I come across, whether they have had struggles in the past with mental stuff or not. So just having guys know that my door is always open is the biggest thing that I could possibly do, and it's 100%. Definitely paid off for myself and the guys that have come to me.
And it feels great to sometimes, like if I have a bad game or something, like always the next couple of days you're on my phone texting me, seeing I'm all right. Totally. And I appreciate that so much, honestly, because like sometimes you feel like you're isolated on an island, because like baseball, you're on an island. Like no matter you're a team, infield catching, especially catching, like you're by yourself out there, and if like you make a mistake, everyone's looking right at you. And it's just like it means a lot that like I have someone like you that's there for me and everything like that. And there's a huge, I was talking about this with one of my softball teammates the other day. There's a huge stigma around that men's mental health isn't important as, let's say, girls or women's, right? And like talk about that. Just say like how you feel that mental health should be more like open. Like we have Hope Happens here at St. Mike's, which I just joined, which I just joined it just to do something with, because Ryan Candy asked me to it. But like the first meeting, I was like, wow, like these people actually care about the mental health side of not just baseball, but every single sport here at St. Mike's.
Well, at the end of the day, people just have to realize that we're all human. Like, it doesn't have to be a male-female thing. It's just we're all human and we all struggle. And it's the same across the board. I met, her name was Devon Drake. She was actually the mental skills coach for the Upper Valley Nighthawks, and she actually got a job at the Arizona Diamondbacks doing the same thing at their minor league complex out in Arizona. And I talked with her extensively just about like, how hard it is to get young male athletes especially to just talk about things they're going through. But once you open up that door, the floodgates open, and guys kind of flooded to her, and this summer flooded to me in the position that I was in Upper Valley, and there is no stigma. Like it is tough, but there's no reason why people shouldn't. Everyone has a trusting person, and if they don't, that person now is me. And just kind of leaving the baggage at the door of like, oh, like I can't talk about this or this, then it's it's not going to serve you well on the field or off the field. So just kind of addressing the big elephant in the room to all of my guys has been key, and has definitely led to a lot of growth in the mental side of things for all my athletes I've played with and coached with.
Yeah, and we actually now that coach our coach E1 has shifted more into the mental skills role instead of being like half into a coach, half that.
Yeah.
We worked with him extensively last year
Oh, yeah.
in off season after Christmas break, and I feel like some guys didn't like it that much, but like me personally, like I love talking about that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like it got us all together as a team to talk about things that people wouldn't talk about voluntarily, I think, and he's been a huge part of, I feel like, my success or my upcoming success. I'm going to try this year and just last year as a team. So how did you feel about that?
I thought it was very valuable. Like I know, mental skills meetings aren't for everybody, and that's okay. But for the guys that appreciated it and found value in it for themselves, it's just another thing in your toolbox.
Yeah.
And I think those meetings with Michael Ewan are amazing, and I meet with him once a week still, just about less the mental side of the game, but more just about coaching and advice with baseball moving forward, and trying to be proactive with the things he was trying to do with our team and program last year, and kind of carry that on for him while he's serving a multitude of roles here at St. Mike's. So yeah, he's been great, and I take value in a lot of things that he's done, and I now practice and preach them myself and spread it to as many people as I can. So it was really great.
It's great. Yeah, and just I'm gonna start asking this question now. This is my first episode in a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been extremely busy, but like, what's your why? Like, why do you play the game? Why do you coach? Why do you have because I know you student teach. You get up at you teach from 7 to 3:30 every day. You come to the field with a smile on your face. You're out doing fungos. Even if I wanted to put another position, you said, Klein, I'll hit you fungos till my hands bleed. Like, why? What is your why? Why do you keep going?
Well, like I briefly mentioned it earlier, but the game of baseball, not the game itself, but the people I've met along the way and all the places I've been have given me everything. Now when I was out on my own, like they gave me a place to stay. They put food in me, clothed me, like just stuff like that. Guys I still talk to from 6 years ago, working for that minor league team and living with a former major leaguer and having 40 new brothers was amazing, and they just kind of took me under their wing, and I realized like, wow, being around the game, not to play it, but to share friendships and something common with new people every year is just, I found my why. And if I can help people in their career in the smallest aspect, if that's hitting fungos, if that's throwing BP, if that's sitting and talking with a guy an hour after a game, like that's what it is. Like the thing that makes me the happiest is when I played with a guy 2 years ago and I get a text message from him out of the blue, hey, how you doing? Like that's just, it puts a smile on my face and reminds me why I so tirelessly around fantasize about this game and how far I can go is just the people I've met and the connections I've made. It's my only family, and it's just that's why I love summer ball so much, going from place to place, meeting new people, and just making that friend, making that connection. It's led me to having lifelong friends and coaches and people in my corner that I never could have expected to be there for me. So my why is just to serve people and give inspiration through my story and the game of baseball. It's clear cut as it can be.
Yeah, and summer ball, I met 30 guys that I still talk to this day, and I'm probably never going to see half of them again, because literally no one lives around. They're all from Louisiana or Alabama or Georgia. I'm never going to see those guys again probably, but just spending that entire summer with them every single day almost just builds a bond that you can't really describe. it's great.
No, when everyone's working towards one common goal, it's, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, who you are, where you come from. It's just, you know, the game is, you know, a universal language, as I like to say. You know, it doesn't matter what you speak. It's, you know, the game is the game, and, you know, everyone understands it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. So one final piece of advice to everyone watching this. One, your best thing that you can give to everyone watching this. One takeaway.
one takeaway.
It's hard. It's only one.
Put me on the spot, right? There's so many.
Come on.
More so just, you know, reach out. You know, the amount of times I've been unsure about things and have needed help and just questions about the game or just in life in general, you know, the amount of people I reach out to and, you know, get back to me is, you know, just absurd. Everybody wants to help. Like, nobody is in this, you know, game of baseball or industry to, you know, harm people. You know, everyone shares a love for it, and, you know, they spread that love through volunteering information and helping people, whether that be, you know, with your, you know, physical approach at the plate, or, you know, mental side of things, or stuff isn't going at home, or, you know, break up with your girlfriend. Like, there's so many people to just reach out to, and will help you in any way they can. It's just, the biggest thing is just to reach out and don't be afraid. There's always somebody in your corner, and if you can't find them, you found them in me. So,
Man, thank you for this. I appreciate this. I know that we're both really busy. I gotta study for a freaking test tomorrow.
I got a lesson planned for students tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But guys, thank you as always. Let me know, and I'm gonna post this on YouTube, and when I post on Instagram, I'm gonna tag Kroll over here. I'm gonna also tag his glove page. He buys gloves from people, resells them.
Oh yeah.
This dude's got like 1 million gloves in his room. So go show him love. Go show his page love, and let me know how this video worked out. I hope it's still rolling. But thank you guys. Episode 8 and episode 9 is coming soon with some of my other teammates. Thank you.